Hi everyone, and you are welcome to Special Methods or Dunder Methods in Python OOP conclusion lecture. In the beginning, I would like to say great job my friends, because you are here right now. And now I can say with confidence that you are familiar with all the common special methods in Python. Now let's recap what we have learned over all this section. In the beginning of this section, I've started by defining what special methods are. And we have seen that these methods are the methods that are not meant to be invoked directly, but usually the invocation happens internally from the class on a certain action, like for example, using one of the operators with objects from your class. After that, we have seen that some of available types of these special methods, like for example, initialization and construction, operators, class representation, type conversion, attributes, sequences, and context managers. Next, we've started to learn about each one of these special methods type in details. The first one was initialization and construction special methods. And we have seen that these methods are usually get called when we want to instantiate a new object or when we want to delete an object. And examples about this method init and del. The second type that we have learned about is operators special methods. And we see that these methods are usually get called when we use operators with objects of our classes. Examples about this operator, we have arithmetic operators, for example, like plus, minus, etc., or comparison operators like larger, larger or equal, less, less or equal. Next, we have learned about class representation special methods, and we see that usually we use this method to generate a representative value of our objects. This value could be a human readable, like the case of str function, or machine readable, like the case of repr function. And as we have seen before, str is a shortcut for string and repr is a shortcut for represent. Next, we have learned about type conversion special methods, and we have seen that these methods usually are get called when we want to convert an object data type from one type to another. In other words, these methods define how I want to convert my object into the required data type. And example about this method is integer and float. After that, we have learned about attributes special methods, and we see that these methods are usually get called when we want to get, set, or delete an object of attribute value, and examples about this method getAtter, setAtter, and delAtter. The next type that we have learned about is sequences special methods, and we see that these methods actually are used to get your Python classes to act like the built-in sequences like dictionary, tuple, list, str, etc. And examples about this method, we have contains, getItem, setItem. Next, we have learned about context manager special methods, and we see that these methods are used to define the behavior of the context manager. In other words, how your object should behave when we use it with keyword inside Python. And the last idea that has been discussed in this section has been callable object. And as we have seen, we call an object a callable object when I can call it like any other traditional function in Python. And usually, we make an object callable just by overriding the method dunder call. That's all for this lecture and for this section. Thank you very much for your time. Now please, I want you to refer to the file special methods, dunder methods in Python OOP appendix. In this PDF file, I've combined for you all the special methods that have been covered in this section inside one file with their definitions for your future reference. That's all for now. Thank you very much for your time, and if you are available, join me in the next section.